Alrighty, and we're live. Welcome everybody to the ED podcast. I'm Luke, and this is Ellen.
Ooh. It's me,
Uh,
Ellen. It's the two of us
that could
back in the
definitely
cell.
be edited to something that you probably don't want it to be. What you did.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
That's the
Well,
idea.
congratulations, because you won. You won the video
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Oh boy.
I love video
Okay.
games.
So I guess we'll start um, shilling out our podcast. Um,
Oh man, I love shilling.
here. This is going to be the shill part of the podcast where we send everybody our shill links.
And plug our mastodons.
Plug our mastodons. Follow me at whatever my mastodon is, salute dimethylchloride at paypig.org.
And you can find me at dodecahedron PC case at Mastodon. I don't know the instance because it doesn't exist.
Congrats. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. So, I might want to get my laptop wherever it is. Too bad. I don't know where my laptop is. I'll use my my phone to browse the Discord for the articles that we want to talk about. If we end up doing that, we probably will. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
I mean, that's kind of the idea of this whole podcast, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
What's new? What's the vibe? What are we feeling today?
Oh man. Oh, I didn't even think about that. For one thing, I need to change the name of the podcast. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something about that.
Shirt. Wait, I can't say shit. I don't know. Shirted podcast, whatever. I'm running out of ideas. We're gonna have to.
I can submit ideas.
What's an idea for the name of today's podcast?
The bubbled podcast because I'm sipping on some bubbly.
Okay, bubbled podcast. Eventually, we're gonna have to just say ED podcast or something, or come up with a new name for the podcast, because this isn't gonna work forever. I'm sure.
We could take viewer suggestions.
We could take viewer suggestions, and then we'd have to do whatever the viewers tell us to. So, like, if it's dildo podcast, we'd have to do the podcast with dildo up our asses the entire time, and that would be pretty bad for us, I think.
Okay, that's just like your opinion, man.
I guess so.
What you sipping on?
This is just regular water.
I thought it was like caramel colored. I thought it was whiskey.
No. This
Must
is
have been
water.
Must have been a trick of the light.
I drank pretty much everything I got today, so
That's the life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at peak right now, so this is my peak. Yeah, so I recently started streaming again. I made
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, I did a game called Senna's Sacrifice on my main channel, Vintage Gamer. If anybody wants to see that, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, but there are a couple people that liked it, I guess. We got some viewer from Germany.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool.
I think I've heard of that game before.
Yeah, it came out in 2017.
Yeah.
If you,
I think Racevic did a video on it. A really good gaming channel. I don't know if you watch him.
And I think it was. I don't think I've seen him before, but during E3, I think there was a big. What was it? There was a preview trailer for it, and I think the most relevant or memorable thing was the big bald chick. The giant bald girl in the game.
That was probably before I was watching E3s regularly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch E3s regularly anymore, but I used to sometimes. Yeah, but E3 is kind of like it's garbage. Pretty much in general, it's just garbage. So,
isn't it pretty much dead now? Hasn't COVID like pretty much
COVID killed it?
Yeah.
At least for this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if it stays dead forever and they keep with like the direct format because like that's what Nintendo's been doing for a while and now Sony's hopping on it and stuff.
They like that a lot, yeah. And
I think it works for everyone.
I think like the big thing is the hype train might die without E3. I think there might be less hype for games for directs because you got the audience hype, and like when you have a direct, you don't have an audience hype.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they will switch to directs. Maybe they'll keep doing E3. Who knows? Um, I doubt. I don't know. COVID has changed a lot of things, and it might have accelerated our uh, I don't know, dependence on technology or whatever, or the move towards remote work or what, whatever it's fucking called.
That's actually that's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
What if COVID was man made, not by the Chinese government, but by like wacko underground accelerationists that are that are trying to dismantle capitalism and technocracy.
That would be pretty incredible. I'd that'd be surprising, I'd say, but who knows? That could
I don't
be.
think it'd be very surprising.
Well, I
It
mean,
seems like the most realistic option.
I guess you gotta believe that accelerationists are really smart people, though. In order to,
That's what you hope, and
yeah,
then you realize that their strategy is to give the most monolithic institutions in our society even more power, as if that's
exactly,
going to topple them. So I'm
yeah.
not so sure about that.
There's, yeah. I mean, like at a certain point, like I think there's a specific point where the masses have an opportunity to destroy the system, but after that point, it gets harder and harder
Yeah.
because at a certain point, the system gets so big that it becomes too big to fail.
I don't know, because then there's the other theory of you just gotta push it as far as it can go until they've finally had enough, and they'll do whatever it takes, which I guess is the theory behind accelerationism.
I
But
think I think
I don't know.
I think part of the theory behind accelerationism is the idea that scalability is a very difficult process. And so when you're able to scale an institution's power to a certain point, it sort of folds in on itself. Like if you were to give like a small business $1 billion, like let's say like some mom and pop shop on Main Street,
Yeah.
and you give them $1 billion to expand. Well, I mean, what do they don't know how to use that $1 billion. I mean,
Yeah.
the smartest decision would be like open one more store, see how the supply chain changes from that, and then go on from there, and then see what kind of things you need. But most people don't end up doing that. They want to use that $1 billion as quickly as possible, so that they increase their income as quickly as possible.
Mhm.
Um,
Because capital and stuff.
yeah, yeah. And then when you do that too quickly, um, your business can end up folding in on itself because you're not prepared for that kind of scaling.
Which is why smart investing is boring.
Yeah, exactly. Smart investing is boring. That's
Which
that's
is why
why
gambling is way cooler.
you take. I mean, I think good investors end up taking about 10 to 20% of their portfolio and then like dumping it into you know uh, fucking really fucking risky shit that
Yeah.
that can lose them a shit ton of money, but can also make them a lot of money. And I think that's probably the best way to go about it because investing does get boring as a retail investor when you're slowly building wealth. And just to keep slowly building wealth, like when you take like 20% of the income that you're putting into the market, it's a good idea. Well, not a good idea, but it's an idea to waste 20% of that money that you put in just to try to take a risk, try to make a shit ton of money. I mean, that's what I do every once in a while, and it's worked out so far for me. So
Nice. How old were you when you started like investing in stuff? Because I remember you've been doing this for a while.
I was around 16 or 17, I think. You're able to get with most brokerages a UTMA account or a UGMA account. The benefit of the UTMA account, I believe, is that you're actually allowed to trade. UGMA is more of like somebody gets an investment portfolio for you, puts money into it and controls it themselves. But with a UTMA, the miner is actually allowed to trade with it. The downside of it is oftentimes with a UTMA account, the money is still in possession of the co-signer, or the actually not the co-signer, the signer, or the adult signing for you, for a lot longer. For me, I don't actually own that money specifically until I'm 21.
Mm.
Well, like, but there's also the legal stipulation that no money can actually be taken out of that account until, or that isn't for my benefit. So theoretically, if the person that signed on the I don't know, brokerage decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna Dave Ramsey this kid's ass and then put all of his money into fucking his student loans so he doesn't end up having debt outside of college. Then I could lose, $5,000 and not make interest off of that money, even though that my fucking $5,000 of student loans is interest free until I graduate, and there's absolutely no point in paying it off until I'm graduated. You know?
Yeah. So what happens if you make bad investments go bust, and then you're still a minor, and are you just going to owe a shit ton of money once you turn 21?
No, no, I put all the money into my account. So my brother-in-law who signed it for me, he hasn't put any money into my account, right? So all that money is mine.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't have to pay him anything.
Gotcha.
He essentially just did me a favor, said like, hey, I have the liability in case my nephew, or not nephew, my brother-in-law decides to leverage his ass out on I don't know, fucking FDs, and then lost 200% of his money. But I'm not doing that because I'm not an idiot. So
Imagine being smart with your money.
yeah.
All I want is hookers and below.
Exactly. Anyway, do we want
Any
to
hooch.
talk? Do we want to talk about any of these articles?
And any of the articles. Yeah,
Oh,
sure. What do we want to
yeah.
start
One of
with?
did I never sent the oh, we should talk about Milo Yiannopoulos. That's funny.
We should absolutely talk about
Oh,
Milo Yiannopoulos.
yeah. Yeah. So Milo Yiannopoulos is no longer gay. Now, my question about this is Milo Yiannopoulos fake and gay? um
uh, yes. Fake. He lied about being gay. Gay. He slept with another man.
So my thinking is, this could be possible. Like, I mean, it's possible that Milo was just bi the whole time, and he was just like leaning it onto the whole like sleeping with another dude thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And
definitely.
that's something he talks about in his interview is like, oh, part of like my thought process was I'm gonna like rebel and go
Mhm.
against my parents or some shit.
Yeah,
He openly admits that,
yeah.
which is why I'm wondering,
I mean,
is this man mentally sound?
he's openly admitted that before too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been. I
I
mean, go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Part of me wonders whether or not this is real, because I mean, he's still like, he can't really be going all in on this when he's still living with the guy that he used to have sex with all the time.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, are you just doing this shit for attention? And it's
Oh,
Milo
he 100%
Yiannopoulos.
is.
It's
That's
Milo Yiannopoulos. He probably is just
it's
doing this shit.
Milo.
Yeah, yeah, it's Milo. So he's probably just doing this shit for the raw attention of it. Um,
He's just bored and life site news is willing to give him a platform.
yeah, exactly. And apparently now he posts. Does he uses Gab.ai, or wait, was it
I think it was Parlor.
Parlor? What is Parlor back up yet?
I don't know.
Okay, I guess
I
it
would, I would
is.
assume so. If this article is up to date.
Now I want to see, because apparently Milo's posting weird shit about um
It could be anything.
yeah, I mean he's posting weird shit about like devoting his life to Saint Joseph or something like that, from what I heard.
Yeah, he
But
might
I'm
just
not
something like that.
really seeing this so far, and I have to create a Parlor account to actually look at this shit.
Why?
Oh, okay. So he's posting a picture. So here he's got a picture of not having a wedding ring, and he said strange feeling on it. So maybe he's having second thoughts. I don't know. Um, yeah, I mean, and like part of the thing is like Milo's kind of been contradictory in the way that in his entire lifestyle. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
because I mean he's claimed to be Catholic for a while, and
yeah.
he's also claimed to be a person who is married while gay, which is kind of contradictory to the Catholic
Mhm.
Church teachings.
I think he got married in a Catholic church, no less, or one of those churches that like went rogue or some shit.
Mm,
I think that's what happened.
like some kind of Episcopalian type shit.
Not as
Not necessarily
maybe.
just because I think there was like Saint Aquinas or something like that. There's a church in Indiana even that did a gay marriage. I think a Catholic church.
I don't know. I think it was in London.
Well, yeah, where Milo got married, that would make sense.
Yeah,
But I don't even know how Milo makes money still. Cause,
yeah. That's the weird thing because he's like
mhm.
bragging about how he can buy his roommate ex lover like Porsches and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. And he like it's like, how do you make money, bro? Hold up. Cause from what I remember, he doesn't even have a job with Breitbart anymore. I think he was
how bad do you
kicked.
have to be to get fired from Breitbart?
You have to be a pseudo pedophile, I guess, like Milo Yiannopoulos, who pretty much talks about how much fun he had having sex with priests. Uh,
Did he? I
yeah,
haven't
pretty
followed
much.
Milo very closely at all.
That was the reason why people just stopped liking him at all. Um, Milo pretty much lost vogue because he talked about how much how he like used to have sex with priests when he was an altar boy, and how that turned him gay or something. I don't I don't know.
That's weird, but also like most likely what that is just like that early traumatic experience probably just like fucked with him real bad.
Yeah,
If
probably.
if I
I
had to
mean,
guess.
and that's actually interestingly enough, like that's also one of the things that happens in Middle Eastern countries a lot too, because there's a lot of especially like interfamily molestation and also just like rape in general. And that ends up leading to a large portion of the Middle Eastern community that's also homosexual, but they're all repressed because in the Middle East, in a lot
Because
of
the Middle
places,
East.
yeah, it's the Middle East. I don't want to say it, but it's the Middle East. I don't. um, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of a whole dealio. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to go too in depth on this because it could get really canceled.
Yeah. Could
But
sketch.
yeah, yeah.
But no, that's the question. Because like
Mm-hmm.
even when I was 13 and went through the brief anti SJW phase, was
Mm-hmm.
Milo? I never even paid that much attention to Milo like I did
Really?
some people. Yeah.
Hmm.
Was he ever popular? Like, was he ever like at the level of a Jordan B. Peterson or a Ben Shapiro or hell even a Steven Crowder?
Mm.
That's my question.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say like well, I mean, he used to be huge, really. He would do talks at universities all the damn time and they got really popular. His Twitter platform was really popular. I don't know if he really made like videos like actual videos other than the talks, but also he was the head editor for the video game section with
What?
yeah, with Breitbart.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and Breitbart had a video game section because Gamergate existed. So, I don't know if you were in your anti SJW phase during the Breitbart or the Gamergate
I,
phase.
I think I think it was post Gamergate.
Yeah, but he was huge during Gamergate. And
That's
if
probably
you,
what I missed.
I don't know if you remember Trigglypuff, that was a huge meme.
No. I
Yeah.
don't know what that
Ooh, you don't remember Trigglypuff?
I don't remember Jigglypuff. Keep in mind, I'm significantly younger than
You're
you.
like 2 years younger than me.
Oh, this bitch, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you remember Trigglypuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Jigglypuff.
I'll go ahead and put a post of
I never
that.
knew that, like, it was called Jigglypuff. I just always knew it as the one woman pumping her fists.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, it's this lady, and I mean, I guess like people just kind of bullied her because she's fat, I guess, and obnoxious.
Because internet is as internet does.
Yeah. Did it though? I don't
I
know.
don't know what anything that he's referring to is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Please elucidate,
Is he
Fink.
watching a different podcast and then commenting on here?
No.
uh, I'm confused. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Milo was pretty big for a while. And he was always like the gay conservative guy, and he was
That guy, the token guy.
yeah, he was able to troll the libtards because he was a gay conservative. And oh boy, how could we have a gay conservative? And then
It's so revolutionary.
Dave Rubin decided to take on that mode of thought too. Like Dave Rubin was like, "Wait a second, Milo gets a shit ton of money because he's a gay conservative. You know what? I'm gonna invite David Duke onto my show." You know?
I feel like we can't go a single episode without talking about Dave Rubin. I don't know what it is.
Oh, dude, we can't go a single episode without talking about anything related to racism or fucking. I mean, that's the Gen Z way, though. I mean, that's pretty much just what we do. We just talk about racism and, I don't know, homophobia and all this
You're
shit.
such a zoomer.
This is how Zoomers speak. We speak
Yeah.
in terms of don't say the N word and, you know,
Yeah.
that shit. Oh, boy.
No. Speaking of the anti-SJW phase, like, the weird thing is, like, I didn't get out of that by, like, moving further left, quote unquote left on the spectrum. What had happened was I got Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life, from the library, right? I was like 14. I had it like on my dresser.
I haven't read this. Anyway, go ahead.
So I had it on my dresser one Christmas, and my older sister was home, and she walks into my room, and she's like, don't read that. That guy talks about how like the government needs to like mandate guys getting wide girlfriends or something. It was super weird, and I was like, oh, this is incel shit, isn't it? And so I never read the book.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's one of the things. Like, incel shit is just fucking. I can't stand that.
It's so weird.
It is so weird. There's like
it's I had a joke. I'm not gonna say it now. I can't go through it.
there's guys out there that think, oh, you know, the top 1% of guys date the 99% of girls and shit. And it's
because
like,
the incel is the proletariat.
yeah, and then like they get upset when fat dudes date hot chicks because they're like, wait a second, how is this hot chick dating a fat dude? What the fuck? This completely destroys my worldview. Go ahead and get on here, Fink.
Yeah, think.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Why not?
I'll give you
No,
5 inches.
did we say why Luke's not here yet?
I don't think we did.
Okay, yeah. Luke's not coming today. Other Luke, because he has a headache. So.
And also school stuff that he needs to be arrested
Yeah.
for.
Oh, and speaking of school stuff, I want to bitch and moan about daylight savings time.
Bitch and bone. Go ahead.
Okay, today is daylight savings day, which means we lose an hour today. We skip ahead an hour tomorrow morning because our I don't know, like I don't know, 20 years ago or so, like maybe less than that, 15 years ago, our one of our governors decided, hey, let's do daylight savings time because everybody else is doing it. And it just sucks.
We could have been like up there with Arizona, just being like, nah, fuck this shit. We're not
Exactly.
gonna comply. We're not down with the system. And then no, lame.
It's like, fuck this shit. Fuck daylight savings time. Why do we need it? Because
It's so dumb.
it's the dumbest shit. And not only that, it's fucking dangerous. Like, people legitimately die. There are instances of old people, because it shocks their schedule, they end up dying because of daylight savings time.
I've never heard that before.
That seems,
Really?
It doesn't seem real.
Well, welcome, Fink. Welcome.
Hello.
It
I
seems
agree with
like
your,
one-
I agree with your grievances. Today
It-
I had 2 people show up late to their shifts because they quote unquote forgot.
Oh boy. Well, it doesn't start today. It starts tomorrow.
No,
I
it started
think,
today.
It started,
it started today?
because it's Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, that's why I woke up at 2 today. Okay. That's why
No, I think
Yeah,
I
mean,
think if you're a really old person and you're dying because daylight savings time shocks your schedule, I feel like
You're gonna die anyway.
it could have been anything. It could have been anything. Daylight savings is just one of those things. Like, obviously, it's horrible. It's a tragedy, but you know.
Old people get really upset when their schedules are screwed up, though. I'm
Let me,
surprised we have it.
Let me see.
You're surprised you haven't what?
Go daylight savings time.
Here we go.
Just because old people.
Right over here. Well, wrong scene. There we go. Opponents argue that DST disrupts human circadian rhythms, negatively impacting human health in the process, that it increased traffic collisions, that the actual energy savings are inconclusive, and that DST increased health risks, such as a heart attack. Year-round standard year-round standard time, not year-round DST, is proposed to be the preferred option for public health and safety. Clock shifts were found to increase the risk of heart attack by 10% and disrupt sleep and reduce its efficiency. Effects on seasonal adaptation of the circadian rhythm can be severe and last for weeks. And I believe there's another point in this article that said something like 37 people have died from heart attacks related to DST. But
Okay, so you're saying it's a circadian rhythm thing, not just I have to get breakfast somewhere else.
No, not like that.
Okay,
but
I retract my statement.
No, it fucks up your circadian rhythm, and that can be especially bad for older people, who have like schedules that can actually affect.
See, the thing is, I don't have a
You very easily counteract that by going to bed an hour early.
On Pine hates your voice.
Yeah, I know he does.
Okay, well.
See, the thing is, I don't have circadian rhythms. I have circadian polyrhythms.
Yeah,
I wish that was. I'm very funny. Please laugh at my jokes, please. Thank you.
I'll do that. I'll put that on my to-do list.
Do it. Put that on your
It's
schedule.
on the list.
Should we start talking about? Have we exhausted Milo and the anti-SJW age?
Oh, dude, we could go on about that shit for an entire podcast, but we can move on.
Adam, tell us about your anti-SJW phase.
Ooh.
I don't know if I ever left it, to be honest. I'm kind of a gamer.
Will you say the N-word right now?
I will
Will you?
absolutely. I will get your platform demonetized and be banned from.
Yeah. Nope.
Can't take those chances.
No way. That's not happening. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you're back.
I was gonna lean into an N and then cut myself, like leave the call. You guys are ruining my joke.
No, I'm not. I'm not letting that happen.
You ain't taking no chances.
I'm not taking any chances here. No way. All right, we gotta pick up the pace here because this pacing has been pretty garbage. Okay.
Hey, who cares?
Yeah, this is a shit at podcast. Whatever. You want to talk about those sperm banks?
Yeah, hell yeah. Sperm bank in space.
Moon sperm banks. What's the whole idea behind that? I actually didn't get the chance to read the article. when you sent it.
So you know how we have this bunker in the Arctic where we keep a bunch of like seeds and stuff so
Oh
that we
yeah.
can like repopulate the Earth in case of nuclear winter or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
They want to build that on the moon. They literally just want to build a second one on the moon.
Okay.
Which
On the moon, this is from the
That's
article.
that's
On the
fine.
moon, pits in the ground lead to lava tubes, now hollow, that reach down some 80 to 100 meters underground, making them ideal for protecting precious cargo.
So here's the thing.
Precious cargo.
I'm normally a pretty big proponent of like space exploration and stuff.
Mhm.
I think it's all important. I think it's all super neat. However, this is the most inane bullshit I've ever heard in my life. It's so dumb.
But isn't
Well,
it cool?
I
It
think
is pretty cool. We're just gonna have a cum bank in space.
I
but-
think part of the rationality towards it is eventually we're gonna start going full on in a meandry,
Mhm.
or what is it? Is it meandry or misandry? Misandry.
It's not misandry.
Misandry.
Misandry is when you hate men.
Yeah, misandry. We might end up going full on misandry, and then the women are just gonna kill all of us. And at that point, we're gonna
Honestly,
need.
be kind of hot though.
Is that one of your
You're into
fetishes?
that,
Are you you're a sub, huh?
You're implying that I have more than one fetish?
Okay. Well, who doesn't? Anyway, um, so yeah, I mean, if we end up going full on misandry, and then the women just start killing all of the men, I mean, this could be a pretty like a safety net in case all of us die, and then that way we can still move on the human race after all of us are dead and women have explored the depths of space with their superior woman brains, and you know
So you're saying this is only once we've colonized the moon? Because otherwise, I don't know.
Are you saying women can't explore space on their own?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not surprised that you think this.
yeah. Well, I mean, what we might end up doing, yeah, I mean, we might end up just killing all the guys and then having women use a giant moon sperm bank to make more women. That's pretty much what
Honestly,
I'm
that's an interesting idea for political ideology. Just like have a setup where like women are the only valid members of society, and the only function of men is to create more sperm for the sperm bank, so they're just like in prisons jerking off into cups for the rest of their life.
That's the that's pretty much the political ideology of insects for the most part. You know, bees,
I mean, yeah,
bees and
I
ants,
guess.
bees and ants, they both do that shit. So, I mean, we got that at least.
But isn't that just for one queen and not like the queen
I mean,
class?
That's true. That's true. In human human social structures, all women are queens.
But if she breathes, I'm not gonna finish that.
Yeah. That's fair. I don't think that would get us demonetized, but might as well not.
It wouldn't
take
get
any
us
chances.
demonetized, but if
No chances taken. And
some bad bitches find this podcast, I don't.
You're
wanna
not
hurt my
trying to
chances,
get-
you know?
you're not trying to get ostracized from the female race.
I demand sex.
Incel vibes right here. You guys know any incels? Like incel mentality people, not just people that haven't had sex because
No.
No. The only person I can think of has like a weird aversion to sex. I don't.
I know some people that, well, I know one person, and I think he does this ironically, but it's still like a pain in the ass to hear, who does the whole incel ideals. You know, like he's a proponent of incel ideals. You know, he talks about how like fucking women only want money and shit, and it's just so exhausting to hear all the time. Or like how you got to be super hot in order to get any like attractive woman, and it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't need this shit in my life. I don't need this negativity. This is just fucking bullshit. I think there's. Go ahead.
I don't see incels as much as I just see desperate fuckboys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure which is worse. Like, I guess incels are fundamentally worse, but on a visceral level, I'm just so annoyed by.
I think they both hate women.
Fuckboys. What was it?
I think they both hate women.
Yeah.
Fuckboys and incels, I think they both hate women. One of them is just better at having sex, I think.
Which makes them fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
No, I remember actually going to a Catholic youth conference, and seeing like these guys just like walk around like trying to get numbers and shit. It was really annoying.
I saw that
fucking cringe. I saw that when I also went to one.
Mm.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I hate this so much.
Well, I mean,
I'm never going back.
What's wrong with that though? Sucks. I mean, what's wrong with trying to get a girl's number?
There's nothing wrong with trying to get a girl's number. What's wrong is walking around seeing
for the sole
woman
purpose.
With vagina. I demand sex. Please give me your number, please. I will take anything.
Hello, give me sex, please. Thank.
Yeah,
at Catholic Youth Conference.
It happened at a Catholic Youth Conference.
Hey, they're not gonna pussy anywhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened there of all places is kind of funny to me.
It's extremely funny, but also just so disheartening, you know.
Yeah.
One time, at that same youth conference, I had a girl walk up to me and compliment me on my band shirt. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks." She walked away, and then my chaperone, the leader of our trip, was like, "Well, why didn't you get her number, man? You could have had a thing going." And I was like, "Okay, fuck this.
This is systematic."
It was.
Okay, yeah, sure. A girl compliments my fucking shirt, and I get her number, just because of that. I mean, like, yeah, I could if I wanted to.
It was so annoying. I hate it so much.
But why pressure me into that shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel ya. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to make sure you're not gay. Because that's a bad thing.
That was his plan.
That's a bad thing. Oh, he didn't get his number.
Very crafty.
I gotta call the Pope right now. I think this kid might be gay. We need to make him a priest.
Get Francis on the phone.
We gotta give him a scholarship to Rome, right away.
Well, we know for a fact that Pope Francis is not gay.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait. Ooh, is this some juicy news?
Do you not remember a couple months ago when the Pope's Instagram account was liking pictures of Brazilian big booty bitches?
No.
It's a real thing. It happened twice.
It happened twice in like the span of a couple months.
First time they played it off. Second time they also tried to play it off. I don't think anyone bought it.
The OnlyFans model joked that she's going to heaven. Oh my gosh. The Pope liked my picture. That means I'm going. Holy
I like the picture they
shit,
used.
Man. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. Oh, that's so funny. I can't believe
you hadn't heard that yet.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Wow. I'm so glad you guys told me about that.
As funny as it is, though, it most likely was just an intern, because I bet you that this 80-year-old man from Argentina isn't, like, running that Instagram account. Something tells me that. Maybe. Either way.
I mean, maybe he is.
He could
Pope Francis is a pretty hip guy.
Dude, apparently in like 70... In like 60 years, we're gonna have a Zoomer Pope. How does it make you feel?
Oh, that might
I
be
can't
fun.
wait to. I can't wait to.
Oh
be the first
boy, a
super
pope
We're
making
gonna have a pope
TikToks.
who used TikTok. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I
There's
don't
not gonna be
like.
a.
I know seminarians in my generation. I don't like any of them.
I know someone who's going to seminary right now who's pretty chill. We actually
Mm.
were the only people who hung out with each other on that youth conference.
Oh really?
Uh, yeah, he was a really chill guy.
Right on. Do I know him?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He does go to Marion though. Or
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know most of the seminarians at Marion. I haven't really. Most of them are. I'm in philosophy classes with them though, and most of the seminarians fucking hates like philosophy because they're required to take it, and they don't think it's a valuable study because the evangelicals, they will constantly tell you that philosophy professors are like the philosophy professor in God's Not Dead.
That's the complex, though. That's the mindset of these people.
Yeah,
It's twisted.
yeah. Like I mean, what? 1 second. Let me get like a quick.
They desperately just want to be victims. It's so
That's like half the college professors I've met.
what
For real.
the professor from God's Not Dead.
Yeah, that's a good. Like, I can know. I can think of a few on hand.
I'm trying to see if I can
They
find
suck.
that clip of the professor telling the kids to write down God is dead. This is what evangelicals think philosophy professors are. I'm gonna see if I can get exactly where I want to be because I only get to do like 15 seconds of this before I get a copyright strike.
Fine, 0. This semester I propose that we refuse to waste our limited time together debating the existence of the big man in the sky. Fill in the papers I've just given you with 3 little
Good
words. God
You should go to seminary.
dead.
That is.
I'm sure I'd fit in.
That's what.
You would fit right in.
I'm sure
That's
I
what
would.
they think philosophy is. Philosophy class is actually, you know how when you used to mess up in school, like back in the 90s or something, the teacher would punish you by making you write after class words on a chalkboard over and over again. And
Yeah.
for me, my mom made me do this sometimes on a notebook until I realized that she had no power over me.
What a healthy thing to live.
That's actually, I could confirm as a philosophy major, that's actually all we do. We actually just write down God is dead over and over again on our paper.
I've been to college. I know how this works.
Yeah, I've been to college. I'm a philosophy major. I know exactly how this works. And that's why seminarians hate philosophy class so much because they pretty much just have to keep writing God is dead over and over again. But they're also studying classes that say the opposite of that. And in
So
theology
it's
class,
very confusing.
in theology classes, they actually just write God is not dead over and over again. And that's kind of like what the whole theology sector is.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the problem. I'm Luke on Pine.
He's not talking about. He's talking about the professors that we, or the seminarians that you named, or I don't even remember.
I
He's
think
just
he was
being-
talking about seminarians.
He's just being obnoxious.
Talking about seminarians.
That's what he does.
Who is on Pine?
He's very good at it.
I don't know him.
He's somebody that we know through D&D.
Ah, I see. Okay,
He's a cousin of a mutual friend of ours.
I see.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't just roast him.
Don't worry about it. He deserves it.
Yeah, no,
Finn can vouch for that.
I gotcha.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Naturally.
Yeah, no, I would just be awkward if he's in my philosophy class or something. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I mean that's a big problem. I think like seminarians do need to be a little bit better about like learning those kinds of like on a serious note where I'm not like just ripping on seminarians.
Yeah.
They do need to start taking that more seriously, the whole philosophical endeavors, because they can't really relate to people on a secular level otherwise. And if you can't relate to people on a secular level, what's the fucking point of being a priest, you know?
Yeah.
Because the whole point is being able to
Evangelize.
be a bridge from the divine to like the secular world, like tell the people in their terms what it means to be a Christian.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, I mean, you're not really a great priest, unfortunately. And then go ahead.
I think that kind of has parallels with there's this anecdote about John Paul II walking around with like a copy of the Communist Manifesto or something, some communist literature. I'm not sure what it was, and people were getting so outraged. How could you carry around a book like this? And he's just like, for book learning.
Yeah, exactly.
To know your shit.
This is a yeah.
Yeah, the idea of just insulating yourself from anything that is contradictory is so prevalent. It's so toxic. Everybody does it. I don't understand it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's rough, and we really need to get rid of that whole mentality. I mean, there's still like Christians out there that are like evolution destroys my faith in God, so it can't be true, you know?
They got some pussy ass faith in God, man.
Yeah, and it's like, excuse me, but you know, a fucking Jesuit came up with the whole, well, not evolution. Jesuits came up with the Big Bang. Yeah, Jesuits came up with the Big Bang. So I mean, what's your problem with the Big Bang? And
it's
then
mostly Protestants. Well,
mostly
yeah. But
charismatic renewal Catholics too, because they're essentially Protestants.
For real though.
Yeah, for real. Like, I mean, these people are doing like fucking, oh, I'm speaking in tongues.
That's the other thing. At the youth conference that I went to for 2 years, I was told, oh, they're gonna be speaking in tongues. Sometimes they speak in tongues. It might happen this year.
I thought we went to the same one, but I don't think we did.
Oh no, we didn't go to the same one. I went. I could name the one that I went to. I'm not gonna be that petty. No, it's horrible. I was told that, oh, there might be speaking in tongues, and then all that happened was some fat bitch fainted.
Her blood sugar was too low.
No, it was probably the incense. It was during adoration, benediction. Sorry.
Oh no, it was the Holy Spirit.
Naturally.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, a lot of the practices. I mean, I love the Catholic faith for the most part. Like, it's great. But
I think there's definitely a lot of beauty in the traditions, even from like an outsider's point of view.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of beauty there.
But there's also like the problem of like a lot of it has become really manipulative, in the sense that like the Protestant faith is also like a really manipulative faith in a lot of ways. And there are good Catholics and good Protestants and good Catholic churches, but like there's also the people that are like, we got to make money, or you know, I want a power trip on the idea that I'm a servant of God, and so I'm going to tell these kids to fall over when I push them. And that's actually me giving them the Holy Spirit, you know, like that's something that happens in some Pentecostal churches too.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to speak in fucking gibberish and say I'm speaking in tongues, or like maybe I already know a language, but I'm just going to say, I don't actually know this language. And then they're just going to start speaking in tongues. I mean, it doesn't fucking mean anything to speak in tongues if you're speaking in fucking gibberish, because it's supposed to be a charismatic, what is it? Charismatic fruit of the Spirit or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you like point out the fact that this is bullshit, if you point out how fucking stupid this is, oh, you're an atheist, you're just like the professor from God's Not Dead.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be one of those charismatic gifts of the Spirit. And because it's a charismatic gift of the Spirit, it's supposed to help you talk to more people. But instead, what they end up doing...
You're literally preaching to the choir.
You're talking to nobody. Because you're speaking gibberish. That's the issue. fuck, like Paul was able to speak Indian for like no, or not Indian, but like Hindu. What's the Sanskrit or whatever they called it? Back in India, and he didn't know the language before. That was what the, speaking in tongues was. It wasn't.
It wasn't going to youth group and speaking a little French.
Yeah, or like going like scat scat man. Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the things that's just been really upsetting to me about a lot of these movements in the Christian sects, because it's just a lot. It's a lot of manipulation in a lot of ways. And it's a lot of. I mean, there's money in religion, and that always complicates things. And there's a lot of survival instincts that they try to go through, and I don't know. I mean, I love the faith, but there's definitely some problems with it. There's some big problems.
Yeah.
That exist.
And again, it's the idea that you can't state the fact that there are problems without being branded a heretic.
Yeah, and there's a lot of,
because there's a difference between pointing out institutional problems and saying that Jesus was not the Son of God.
Yeah.
One is heresy, the other is just a factual observation.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, people just they don't understand it or something. Part of it's that one of the things that you really have to do in some ways with religion is you just got to not think about it that much. And when you try to tell people to think about religion and think about what they're actually doing, then they get a little bit defensive, because I mean, in a way, there's like a blind faith that you have to have in some ways, but that should also be informed by reason in some ways. And if you don't do that, then if you don't realize that second qualifier, then any argument against what you do believe is heresy.
Yeah, it's kind of paradoxical in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. There's a
Something-
balance there.
Something that I'm still trying to parse through,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't think that there is ever, like, in our lifetime on this earth, if there is ever an end to that period of trying to parse through everything, and we've like convinced ourselves that one day we're gonna have it figured out or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, there's people that spend their entire life trying to figure out theology, and I mean, it's not possible to get a solid answer at any point in your life, but
yeah,
it's just it's one of those things. It's hard to talk about, and it's hard to really have a concise opinion on it, unless you're one of those morons who either say there is no God, or if you're one of those morons that say everything is infallible by the church. Those are the easy answers.
Yeah.
But answers are never that easy.
Think.
Hello,
Just
it's me.
think about over there. You got any hot takes on this?
Chewing on a pencil.
That's a hot take.
Not really. No, not many hot takes here.
Is that pencil tasty?
No,
Why are you chewing on it then?
I have no idea.
Bro, we should psychoanalyze his ass.
Psychoanalyze me right now.
What do you think about your mother?
Pretty good terms with my mom. I like
Pretty
my
good
mom.
terms.
You like your mom?
You like
Yeah.
your mom?
You like your mom?
You like your mom? Okay.
You like your mom, don't you?
You like your mom. How much do you like your mom?
Oh, jeez.
On a scale from like
This much.
This much?
this much?
Yeah, this much.
That's
this
a
much?
lot.
That is a lot. Would you say that you love your mom?
I mean, I don't know if I go that far.
Do you love your mother?
You love your mother, don't you?
You love your mother.
You love your mother.
You definitely love your
No,
mother.
I have to. So I have to
You
get
love
back
this
to
guy.
my
He
mom.
loves his mother.
This guy loves his mother. I can just tell this guy wants to have sex with his mom.
Okay, Mr. Freud.
That's what we're... You like Coke?
Me?
Yes.
He likes Coke.
Yeah, both.
That's good.
Both.
Coke
both
is
kinds.
good for you.
Yeah.
Why
I like,
are you talking like this? Why are you doing this stilted voice?
You want to have sex with your mother.
Thank you, Freud. Now I'm starting to feel like you've got some repressed feelings.
No,
That's
we're
the
just
second time you brought this up.
we're
No one else
psychoanalyzing
has
you.
talked about this, but
We're
you.
Why are
psychoanalyzing
you getting
you.
defensive, man?
Why are you getting defensive? Yeah,
Why are you getting defensive, bro?
you're getting
I'm not
defensive
very
because you want to have
defensive.
sex with your
I'm
mother.
actually pretty offensive right now.
Defense is the same as offense if you think about it.
It's just
I
like
really-
Roman said.
I don't think I believe that at all.
Just like not wanting to have sex with your mother and wanting to have sex with your mother is the same thing.
Naturally. It's commonly known
Yeah,
fact.
you know what? I
Would you say
Yeah,
you have an
disagree.
Oedipus complex?
I would not say that, no.
You have an Oedipus complex.
Thank you
Look at
for
this guy. He's got an Oedipus complex.
Look at this guy.
Why do
He's got-
people even go to therapy, honestly?
Honestly. Anyway, that was our psychoanalysis session.
Thank you.
Hell
I
yeah.
feel like I've got some issues worked through.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Man, well,
Speaking of psychoanalysis, you all should watch The Sopranos.
oh, dude, I love The Sopranos.
Oh, have you seen all The Sopranos?
Not all of them. I've seen like the first 4 seasons or so.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of season 4 right now.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
There's lots of good psychotherapy scenes. Makes me think.
How much
about it.
gabagool's been eaten?
2 metric tons.
Thank you for the precise measurements.
Yeah. I mean, heaven forbid it's 2 empirical tons and not 2 metric tons. No, I was watching an episode of Sopranos last night. It's one with Christopher's drug rehab, the intervention. I don't know if you got that far.
Maybe.
And it just like devolves into chaos, and it got me thinking, like, man, these people just can't function without violence. It just got me thinking, what does it take to get to that point?
Drugs.
Anger. It's more. No, it's
Being
more than
very
just,
angry.
I think it goes beyond being on drugs and anger. I think it has to do with being Italian. That's what I'm really trying to
Yeah,
get at.
you know what? You're right.
But no,
Have you ever met an
seriously,
Italian?
seriously though, it raises interesting questions of like, where does this come from? Where
It comes from
the end of
Italy.
the day- at the end of the day, where is this inability to
Welcome,
function,
dudes, dude.
to have a conversation without punching the other guy in the face and kicking him while he's down? Like this dysfunction. What is the root of this?
Yeah, and I think like the root of the dysfunction. I don't know if we should really go super heavy into the Sopranos because I don't know really how much our viewers can get from this. But I mean, it's partially just their upbringing, and actually we can actually bring this into a deeper conversation about groups that have been marginalized and their need for community as a means of supporting themselves, because oftentimes they're targeted by law enforcement and et cetera, because they're poor. I mean, poor people are targeted by law enforcement, and when poor people are targeted by law enforcement, then it keeps them poor because they can't get a decent job. And
It's these vicious cycles.
yeah, and they have to pay bail bonds or something like that, and all that kind of thing. I mean, you can see it today too with the black community, which has been like pretty systematically oppressed for hundreds of years in America, and they still are trying to get on their feet. And there's a lot of instances where they actually have achieved that, and that's a great thing. But it's still there's still like some problems here where we have some difficulty actually what's the word? Achieving a system in which all people are treated equally by the police, because the police are just fucking shitheads, to be honest. Like the reason,
Very brave opinion.
and yeah, very brave of me. I mean, this is a pretty common talking point, but like nobody fucking likes the police, right?
At the end of the day, no.
Yeah, because the laws that we have in place are really targeted to make poor people poorer. I mean, if you speed, a $200 ticket when you're rich doesn't mean shit. But
Yeah.
a $200 ticket when you're poor means food or rent for the month.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got that problem, and to be honest, like nobody really actually has to pay their speeding tickets and shit because like they're not going to jail over a speeding ticket, but you still have a warrant for your arrest, and then you have to put that on your job applications until you pay off that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. We're trailing off a lot here.
Yeah.
But
It's a
Yeah.
solid talk. Let's
With-
look for some news. Let me think.
We talked
What's-
about
what's
the,
happening?
with
we talked about the come bank on the moon.
Yeah,
come
that
back
was the
on
most
the-
interesting topic.
Yeah.
I think that you had.
Oh shit! You know what we didn't talk about? We didn't talk about Syria. Well,
Syria.
actually, Israel and Syria. So pretty like this past Sunday, there were 2 Iranian oil tankers heading to, I believe, Syria, and they were
Oh,
actually
yeah.
shot down by missile, heading to Israel.
I didn't see this. I've kind of been.
It was a Wall
out
Street
of
Journal.
the loop a lot this week.
It was a WSJ exclusive for a while, so maybe that's why you didn't see it. But yeah, I mean that happened this past week, and it made me think about just the way that foreign nations communicate with each other, right? Because when foreign nations want to say, "Hey, we're not cool," what they really end up doing is they send missiles to each other, and they're precisely pointed to be like to not hit anything. And it's really an art at this point, right? It's really an art to.
Are you a connoisseur of this art?
Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of this art because they target it so it's like, hey motherfucker, look, we got missiles, we could beat the shit out of you, but we're not going to because we don't want to start a war. We don't want to do anything that would actually cause you to be upset at us.
We just
However,
want to show how big our dicks are.
we want to show you that we ain't cool. We don't like you, right? And you got to do like some really complicated shit to do this. You got to do some really complex math to actually find out what trajectory you want to do. Like what kind of acceleration are these oil tankers going, and then like what acceleration do we need to shoot the missile, and then like at what angle does it need to go so it just misses that tanker. And like honestly, I just don't know why these foreign nations don't just send each other a passive aggressive note like the rest of us.
Because missiles are much cooler.
Because
Let's be honest, it was. It's pretty obvious. Why?
They're so
They don't.
expensive. The workload to actually do this is so large. Like why?
The reason they're
Because it
doing
really
is
sends a
for-
message, doesn't it?
It really does send a message. Yeah.
and also you can insert commentary, industrial complex and that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
And
How it's been how the industrial revolution's been.
Yeah, we need
And
to.
We all know.
We need to send enough missiles to actually pay, like, give us a reason to buy more missiles. Because
we
if we
need to
don't,
meet our monthly quota for Raytheon.
yeah, we need to buy more missiles. So
Gotta
that
use
way,
the old
if we
missiles
go
so
into
you
a
can get
war,
new
we have the supply
missiles.
chain for
First
enough
know what
missiles.
I'm saying?
Because if we don't buy enough missiles, then Lockheed Martin isn't going to be producing enough missiles. And when we need more missiles in the future, because we're going to get into war at some point, I'm sure, Lockheed Martin's not going to have the supply chain to actually make enough missiles. And then we're going to have to get a huge workforce and train so many people to make more missiles. So it's really just easier right now to buy a shit ton of missiles and get us into billions of dollars of debt, and trillions of dollars of debt, actually. And shoot missiles every once in a while just so everybody knows that we're not cool and destroy land and then cause global warming and then make more missiles. That way we can shoot more missiles and then hire more people so we have a greater supply chain, and then that way we can also get more metals for the missiles because we'll keep the mining industry solid in America. That way we have enough metal to make more missiles and then we'll shoot more missiles so we keep making the supply chain exist, and we'll make more missiles and more missiles and we'll become self-reliant on our own missiles, and that way, when we go to war, we have enough missiles to shoot at the other bad guy,
Well,
and
what
the
if they have
bad
missiles?
guy
I
will
don't think
keep
you-
shooting
what if-
missiles at us.
Okay.
The bad guys will keep shooting missiles at us. That way, they also have missiles, and they also have the missile supply chain.
What this essentially is on a global scale is that episode of The Office where Oscar explains to Michael Scott the concept of a surplus with
It's-
a lemonade stand. Really, that's all it is.
We lost 2 viewers during my explanation of missile supply chain.
I'm really sorry. I think that was the best part of the podcast.
I
so
really
far.
do think that was hilarious. Yeah, oh
That was
well.
great.
I thought that was funny. Oh well.
Quality podcasting.
Oh well.
No, it's really fucked up when you think about it. How like the U.S. alone probably has enough like missiles to essentially cause the apocalypse,
Oh yeah, for
several
sure.
times over.
and we're just sitting on it.
Mhm.
You know,
And we're just like, hey, let's build more missiles.
Get a
You know how
bigger
we could-
bombs.
You know
What
how
a
we could
suck if they're,
pay
like-
for the lunch of, every single American school child with the cost of one missile for a year? Well, how about instead of paying for school children's food, we just make 11 nuclear missiles a year?
Those
Pretty
things are pretty
awesome.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
they
I think it's-
they are pretty sick though.
Yeah, nukes are pretty cool.
How many more times over could we like blow up the entire planet?
That's a good question. I'm gonna look up how many. Oh, shit,
What?
what's the-
America has like 500 missiles. China has.
How
Probably
got
more.
does
Yeah,
the
maybe 700.
US
I think Russia has 500. China has 300. Israel has like
5,800.
5,800 times.
The United States total nuclear inventory is 5,800, with around 3,800 active warheads in the stockpile and another 2,000 retired warheads awaiting dismantlement. So, how many nukes would it take to destroy the world? 100 nuclear weapons could destroy life. We have
30
enough
times.
nukes in the U.S. alone to cause the apocalypse 38 times over.
What the fuck? Well, yeah, 38 times, yeah. Why?
That's why those school children aren't getting meals.
Why?
This is awesome. The neoconservatism is awesome.
1 second.
Let's go for 40 times over.
Yeah, why not?
Timmy's
We
not
can-
getting dinner for another year.
We can reuse some of those old
Can
retired
we
ones.
just
They'll
wait a
work
second?
just fine.
I got an idea. I got a great idea here.
Ugh.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
What's to stop somebody from just stealing the nukes? What's stopping them from doing
Lots of people with guns.
it? No, because you need to have an equal amount of people with guns, and a crack team of stealth hacker bitches led by Tom Cruise.
Man.
Oh, man.
I got a great idea here. Can we keep talking about nukes for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me, think. What do nukes remind you of? Like the shape of them and stuff. What does that remind you of?
I feel like this is a loaded question.
I
You know what?
remember
I'm gonna ask that question with a question. What do you think they remind me of?
What do you think they remind me of?
Let me ask that with a question. What do they remind you of?
Frankly, sir, they're
Mind games.
We could destroy the entire solar system with the nukes that we have in the U.S.
That Jupiter's fucking huge.
Jupiter is fucking huge, but how many? Let's ask a different question. How many nukes would it take to destroy the sun? because the sun is like the sun is 3,000 times the size of the Earth, right? How many nukes would it take to destroy sun? Awesome. If the entire world started building nukes nonstop all day, every day for the next 100,000 years, it wouldn't be enough to be clear the amount of force required to destroy the sun is almost unfathomably monstrous. Okay, so...
I feel like you're underestimating the sun.
All right.
Well, I feel like you're also underestimating the amount of nukes that can be made by the US and Russia alone per year.
I feel like there's no amount of nukes on this planet, actually. Which is actually the point of the conversation. That could put a dent in the sun.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah, hit us with
Awesome. Yeah.
All right.
Are we doing an ad read?
What's this one?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And his lights match. His
We
lights
will
match.
destroy
His
it.
lights match.
We will destroy the world, and then we will have communism. Yes. Yes. The apocalypse will come. The apocalypse will come. Yes. It's time. It's time. Yes. Okay,
You know what's awesome?
I'm done with
Man,
that.
Luke misses one podcast and look what happens.
Oh shit. What did I do? Oh well. I'll fix it.
You know what's awesome about caring about politics and stuff?
What?
Yeah.
Once you have like a family, once you have kids, and you have people you need to take care of, you literally have no reason to give a shit anymore.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for
Like
sure.
you just stop caring.
Yeah,
Unless
otherwise
you're
that's why
anybody
politics
in
is
my
the way it is.
family.
Can we accelerate that process? Can we all like get married and have kids?
Yeah,
Get
just don't be a virgin. There you go.
Yeah, just don't be a virgin.
That's how you fix politics.
I'm planning on becoming a
It
millionaire
really is
before.
though. It really is though.
I'm planning on becoming a
the incel's
millionaire
got a
before I
plan.
have kids.
The incel is directly linked to the rise of political extremism in the U.S.
Maybe
Once
those
I make
stick-man
something like-
girlfriends aren't a bad idea after all.
Once I make something like once I make somewhere around $5 million, I'll just put all my money into dividends and I'll just start popping out kids like crazy.
Sounds great.
Oh yeah.
That's the idea, because then I make like $150,000 a year. And
You're
I
gonna be
don't
like
have to work.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Half of
Khan.
Asia is gonna be related to you genetically.
Does anybody else think that it's kind of weird that in America, literally just by having a shit ton of money, you can make money? Like you don't even have to work for it.
It's not fucked up. It's awesome. It's so cool. It's great. I love
great.
it.
I do like money.
Money's pretty tight, bro.
Accumulate capital.
Yeah. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do after that? What are you gonna do once you
What-
acquire some capital?
I'm gonna acquire more capital.
Like any
That way.
conscientious young man. Hell
Yeah, like any conscientious young man. That way, I can acquire more capital.
What are you gonna do with all that
Then-
capital?
I'm gonna acquire more capital. Yeah,
World's smartest man.
yeah, and then guess what else I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
I haven't the faintest.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh.
I'm gonna do
This
this.
is the checkers game where grandson and
Okay,
granddad
yeah,
move
checkers
on.
game where yep. I'm gonna do this. Yes. 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 Yes.
This is such a-
Destroy. Yes. Okay, I'm done. That's it. That's it.
This podcast is 30% talking about Dave Rubin, 30% talking about Catholicism, 30% J-Reg bits, drag bits, sorry, and Drej bits,
Drej.
and then 10%, I don't know, what's the other 10%?
Talking about penises.
Yeah, that's what I was actually. That's actually exactly what I was gonna say.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. That's about the podcast. I think that's a good.
Yeah, that's a good note to end
We
it
should
on.
add that to our goals for the podcast. What was it?
That's a
30% drag bits. 30%. What was the other one? Catholicism.
Yeah.
30%. I don't know. What was it?
Dave Rubin.
Dave Rubin. And then 10%.
Big and ball.
What was the? Oh yeah, Cosmo. There we go. And then we'll just make that a visible thing.
Hell yeah. Is it your bedtime?
I think his
I think,
dick may have.
I think it's his bedtime.
Well, I mean, it's pretty late.
Yeah, it's 10:30. He's a growing boy. He needs to sleep.
Yeah, no, my parents just told me to stop yelling about the apocalypse. Sorry.
Your parents are a bunch of virgins, bro.
Yep. All right, there we go. We got it up on the stream. We should probably actually change this to about 5%, 10%, or 5% Cosmo, and then 5% Luke getting called at some point or interrupted.
I feel like that's way more than 5%.
It hasn't been that
Party
much.
68.
Hasn't been that much this time.
I can change that.
You about to call me
I might
on
not.
my cell phone?
I used to call you on.
Late night.
I don't even know the rest of the lyrics.
When I
Put the text over my icon on the screen
Ugh.
for high quality.
How long have we even been streaming this? Okay.
It's been like an
76
hour
minutes.
It's been an hour 16, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ed podcast.
Okay,
on
there.
Mastodon.
That's it. That's the secret word. Thanks for tuning in.
Hold on, I have a viewer request.
A viewer request.
A viewer request. Oh, that's pretty.
We're kicking him.